So Jamie and I discussed gimmick metal, but as a disclaimer, I want to be clear that we're not implying that a gimmick is inherently a bad thing. It's there's a lot of new bands who seem to have a lot of gimmick in the mix, and so we wanted to talk about that and which ones we like, which ones we don't like, what works about that and what doesn't work. So don't assume we liked or disliked each of the bands that are featured in this episode. In order to find out which ones we did or didn't like, you need to actually listen to the episode. So we talked about Okilly, Dokilly, Nekrogoblikon, briefly talked about Kamelot, though that was not part of the original program. Ghost BC, who at some point will probably have their own episode because, spoiler alert, I hate them. Alestorm, and Gloryhammer, and Lords of the Trident from Madison, Wisconsin. So slight bias on my part there. Unleash the Archers. There's going to be a follow-up on Unleash the Archers because I actually saw them at Prog Power last week. So there's more to be said, so don't take this as the final word on Unleash the Archers, especially if you passionately disagree with my take on them. So there's more on that to come. And unavoidably, Rhapsody of Fire came up. We also went on a weird, random little tangent about fantasy literature because so many of these bands' gimmicks seem to be what I like to call Dungeons and Dragons metal. So there's a fine line between simply D&D metal or gimmick metal or both. And, labels don't matter, so whatever. So check it out. And keep in mind, there's definitely going to be a follow-up to this. I have a bunch more similarly themed bands that didn't make it into this one, so there will be at least another episode or more on this topic. All right, so gimmick metal. This episode is sparked by the recent appearance of a gimmick metal band on Facebook. Oh man, that's a lot of. I'm looking at Facebook now, and I got a bunch of likes. It's really exciting. Okay, so it's a. They're not even really a metal band, but they're a gimmick band for sure. It's called Okilly Dokilly, and it's a Ned Flanders themed. Do we actually want to listen to it? Because it's really painful. Okay, definitely. I'll find it. But basically, the more, when you hear this, you'll probably think what I did, which is, how is this related to the gimmick? But if you see the picture, like the most effective part of their gimmick is their band photo, which also supposedly proves there's 5 people in the band. I don't know what the fuck they're all doing.
They're all dressed as Ned Flanders.
Yeah.
Even then, I don't know what my initial thoughts were looking at the album.
So if you want to see this, it's Okilly Dokilly, Okilly Dokilly. So if you just Google that, you'll find some stuff. Here is now. Supposedly the lyrics are taken from things Ned Flanders said on the show, but
not all of it.
But well, and even when it is, it's like so. Anyway, let me just play something. Did that actually? Maybe this one does not want to play. All right, here we go. I'm bringing up their Bandcamp, and then that should have.
This one time at Bandcamp. Oh yeah. Says they warned me. It sounds like he's saying "there warned me." I couldn't get over it. I was like, his enunciation is terrible.
So the tone is terrible.
It also sounds like they're about to start playing. It was reminiscent of Toxicity.
Yeah.
Also that.
Is that a keyboard? I guess.
Something like that.
It's almost like just doing keyboard noise. Yeah, it's basically just doing like.
I was gonna say the bass
Electronic
tone
noise.
sounds really bad.
Yeah.
Not his rhythm.
I mean, the guitar tone's pretty bad too.
Oh, that's the worst part, specifically for us.
This is only a 3-minute song, and
Yeah, he says that a lot.
all right, that's enough of that fucking song. So, that's the only thing I have on Bandcamp. But I mean, that's a pretty good idea. Like, I listened to like 4 of their tracks or
I
whatever.
listened to all 4 as well. Yeah.
And it was pretty much all the same. It was the same, just like it was kind of noisy,
Yeah.
heavy rock. I really hesitate to call it metal other than
I think
the
we should
like
have like
screaming part.
a scoreboard of gimmicks. So, I mean, here's what we've got here. Like a list of pros and cons. We have maybe about, if we include them, 6, right?
Yeah,
Yeah? 6?
at least.
Be better. Well, I mean, I don't think it'll be a stalemate. I think that you need to look at whether you like the Gimmick band just because of the gimmick, and you're trying to tolerate the band because the gimmick is so good that you know the music isn't there, or the music is so awesome and you're like, why are you doing this with, with the gimmick?
My personal feeling about gimmicks is, first of all, because I posted like on Facebook at the last minute and said, anybody, am I missing any? I listed a few bands I want to talk about. Am I missing any major gimmick metal bands? And specifically sort of more recent, newer ones. Like everyone knows Gwar, but Gwar is actually like, as far as I know, the original gimmick metal band, and their gimmick is kind of really their whole, everything fits the theme.
Yeah.
And so it's like,
What's the lead singer's name that passed?
Odorous.
Odorous Arungus is the guy's actual name.
Yeah. Well, no, that's his character name.
Right.
His actual name's like Dave or something.
So it was Dave.
Yeah.
Pretty sure
I
it
forget
was.
his last name. But
Someone post comments. They opened the way to the turd that is Gimmick band.
Yeah.
But he was an artist though.
In
That's
metal,
what was
but there's
awesome
also,
about Gwar.
I mean, gimmicks have been around in rock for a long time. I mean, because like, for example, Kiss. If you ask me, Kiss is a gimmick rock band.
Yeah.
I'm focusing on gimmick metal, but at the same time, well, and again, I'm trying not to focus on like obvious, like huge famous bands, because I mean, at some point I'm gonna have to do a Kiss episode because I am not a fan of Kiss.
Yeah, I'm not really. It's
so
kind of like
popular.
me and I saw Kiss with Motley Crue.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Motley Crue killed it. They were awesome.
Yep.
You know, apart from other funny things that happened at the show, you know, like what's his name? Pamela's boyfriend, the drummer.
Yep.
What's his name?
Tommy Lee.
Tommy Tardley. Yeah, he was like going around, hey, what's the problem, guys? Oh, is this a dry concert? That's why it sucked. You guys want a drink? And the whole stadium goes, yeah. And he goes, all right, you look hot. Points out this bimbo in the front and then just pours a bottle of sham all over her. And everyone boos him. Like, dude, you guys are killing it. Stop being such an arsehole.
Yeah, I mean, so
Kiss sucked, put it that way.
For me, the music always comes first. So if you were, actually, here's my thing. If the music is good and you happen to have a gimmick and it sounds like it relates to the actual music, I'm all for it. I have no problem with gimmicks as long as the music's good, because it's part of the whole experience. And sometimes it actually can enhance it, right? Sometimes it's like if you're going to listen to a band that plays like D&D fantasy metal, then you want it to be obvious that it's cheesy D&D fantasy. You want it to be all like swords and sorcery and dragons and shit. Yeah. To me, it always is like, as long as the music comes first. Now, in this case, it sounds like they're just kind of a heavy rock band, and they were like, guys, I think we might be terrible and no one is ever going to give a shit. Maybe we should come up with a gimmick. And what does everybody love? The Simpsons, you know? Because, again, that shit spread like crazy. I was surprised how bad it was when I listened to the music, because I was like, this thing because you posted it on my Facebook, but I like 5 minutes earlier, I saw it on someone else's thing. I saw it like 10 times that day on Facebook. It was so all over the place.
Well, it was shown to me.
Yeah.
And it was shown to me by Ashley.
Okay.
And she hates metal. Which, it's, when you live with someone that hates metal, it's difficult when you're like, I'm going for sure, I want to put Lamb of God on. No, that's not happening. Like, oh, bollocks. But she was like, you know what? I think this is the first metal band I liked. And when I listened to it, I was like, why did you have to say that about this? Why?
Oh, by the way, if you listen to the, I mean, they may have posted by the time this one posts. I'm not sure if I'm going to do them in order, but the Heavy Montreal episode we did, one of the bands that played that we didn't see was Lamb of God, which, because I've seen them before. So it was one of those things where I was like, well, I get the deal and they're cool, but I don't need to see them again. Yeah. But it was one of those ones where like the last night was that band I was telling you about, Isan, this dude used to be an emperor, and after him we left because we were like, well, nothing else to see. Sure was cool to see Isan close out the festival, but there was still Lamb of God and Slipknot.
Lamb of God and Slipknot.
Yeah, and everyone was there for Slipknot that day. It was ridiculous.
My Slipknot fans are loyal.
Yeah.
I still listen to Slipknot.
Yeah.
But
so
I can hear your bated breath. Like,
that's nice, Jamie.
The comments I want to make about that.
Good for you, buddy.
Yeah. Well, you
enjoy.
People that are like, oh my god, you like Slipknot? They immediately put you into a category of people that listen to like Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park.
No, but if you saw the people who were there for Slipknot, you'd be like, I'm not going to tell people I listen to Slipknot anymore. you might not want to be associated with that crowd.
Totally. Well, you know. No, I'm not going to rat on Comic-Con. I like a lot of the stuff that would be at Comic-Con, right. And you know, anyhow. But yeah, so that's a good point. Music should come first, and I think that there's two categories that those can be put into. As I said before, it's are you bearing with the music? It's that bad just because the gimmick is so funny, or is it the polar opposite and the music is so good, but you're like, why the gimmick? Mm-hmm. Or is it both? Actually, it should be really the best scenario.
So here's a weird example. There's this band called Nekrogoblikon, which the way I would recommend if you just want to see like the best version, their initial hit video is called "No One Survives." So it's Nekrogoblikon with two Ks, Nekrogoblikon. It's like Necronomicon combined with Goblin, and the video for "No One Survives" is awesome. I think it's great. I think the music's pretty decent. I felt like the reaction I always have when I watch this video is, man, these guys write great background music for this video. Like, because I feel like if I close my eyes and don't watch the video, I kind of get a little bored, and I'm like, it's all right.
So was this which video was this? This is the
one where the goblin wakes up and he's like a normal like cubicle drone person,
and then you kill, maybe no, spoiler alert.
Okay, well,
we won't
again. So go watch. Okay, pause the podcast and go watch if you care. Okay, if you care to interact and know what the fuck we're talking about, go pause the podcast, go to YouTube, watch Nekrogoblikon, No One Survives.
Yeah.
Basically, I know they're like based in LA. I don't know if it was a real band when they made that video, because the sounds on that song, they sound a little bit like MIDI drums, MIDI keyboards.
Nothing compared to Okilly Dokilly. That's
well, right. No. It's well done. If it is all like MIDI instruments, it's actually well done for MIDI instruments. So I don't want to take away from it. And I think that video is great. You should watch. It's worth. That was a huge like viral hit. So, but the weird thing is, okay, so it was a huge viral hit, and then I heard afterwards like, oh, they're a real band and they're playing in LA. I don't know if that happened afterwards. If the dude who made the music also made the video, like, keep making music videos, because the video is great, and
it's like Rob Zombie,
and the music fits it really well, but it still felt more like the video was more important than the video, or more important than the music, and better over. Like, if the music fits the video, but if you just listen to the music, it's not as interesting, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But what they did is, so I found they posted a new video recently where they kind of like leaned into it, and their new album is called Heavy Meta, like metal but meta, because the point is they understand that they're a gimmick band and they have leaned into it like, fuck it, this is what we do. So their latest video is called We Need a Gimmick, and it's not bad. It's similar musically, although it sounds a lot better because there's an actual band and it sounds like it's produced better now. And it's kind of funny, but like, it's the same general kind of music style, but again, it's meta. It's about how they understand. Like, there's a joke in there about the first video. No One Survives had Caden Cross in it, who is a pornography actress. If you're not familiar, we had to Google and find out who that was and why everyone's heard of her. I don't know, but. So they mentioned in We Need a Gimmick, they reference like, Caden Cross equals more views, and there's a lot of like video style parodies, but not music style parodies, right? The music didn't. So I still feel like he thinks it's a real band, and he's just writing music, and then being like
he being
the dude who
the vocalist.
I'm pretty sure the lead vocalist is like the dude behind it who wrote stuff. I could be making that up in my imagination. It might. I'm not sure.
Your music is bad. We are very good at researching.
I tend to do a fairly cursory, reasonable baseline amount of research. But as always,
you're safe now.
If you feel like I'm talking out of my ass, feel free to write me and tell me how I don't know shit. Just write me at hatemail@yourmusicisbad.com.
Yeah, I don't. So. I only saw those 2 videos, and I got to see it with the music video. I mean, it was a music and the awesome video. So it sold me on that point of like, we love movies, we love video games, we are musicians. We like music to everything. And when it came to watching that, it was probably enhanced by the fact that the music video was just awesome. They were both so great, had nothing to do with the porn star. But I actually really liked the music. I got what you were talking about when you were saying his voice. Didn't you mention that his voice was grating?
I mean, well,
his vocals, his screams and his growls.
I mean, I don't mind. It's typical like black metal kind of like the whole time.
But you could see that he was having a laugh with it.
Yeah.
Which again relates to your whole point of they just embrace that it's a gimmick. But I felt that it was less of a gimmick. I could compare it to other ones and say it's a gimmick. The guy in the goblin costume, okay, that's a gimmick.
Right.
And I honestly, the first thought that came to my mind was like, God, that must suck. Doing a gig for like an hour and a half and you're in that friggin' goblin costume. How hot must it be in there?
Well, like the first video where the whole video revolves around this character, I'll describe it because why not? Basically,
spoiler alert for lazy people.
Right. Well, you should have watched it by now, and otherwise you aren't planning to. So there's a goblin, and he's like, there's some dude who has tied up Caden Cross in a forest. So it's more like, you expect like a typical kind of fantasy metal kind of, or folk metal maybe, because, goblins and trolls, whatever. But the goblin seems almost like the protagonist. And then he gets hit in the head and like falls unconscious. And then he wakes up in like a normal apartment.
Like a hoodie on.
Like a regular dude. Yeah. And he's like, oh, I'm late for work. He's getting dressed and smokes some weed, goes to work and like
drops all his files at the suitcase.
And then it turns out that Caden is like a girl he works with, and there's some dude who's hitting on her, and she has a birthday party or something, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna go, and like, oh, this guy. So it's this whole thing, and then just the whole tone of like how sure he's a goblin, but he's actually just some like regular schmuck is so good. Like, it's really good. Like that whole thing really works.
I was just waiting for it to end though. You know, I was like, when are they going to admit this? Or is it one of those classic, it's all a dream bollocks?
Yeah. But basically, there's one other video. So when I was preparing for this, I was like, well, let me see if they did anything in between those. Cause I appreciate that they came back with like, the song is literally called We Need a Gimmick.
I definitely have to listen to an entire album because even those two, just listening to the music, I did do my very best to just, not look at the funny shit.
Well, that was the thing.
Going on.
I did listen to one track that doesn't have a video from their latest album because their latest album is called Heavy Meta, and it's literally all meta jokes and self-aware kind of whatever. But the problem is whenever I actually because the dude's an okay singer. But
yeah, he's not. Oh, that was it. It's just it's the vocals. His vocals weren't terrible, but it was the fact that I didn't get bored by it because it kind of put it out there, and I was like, so this is what you can do. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm settling for him in his grade C. He had a good voice. It was just like, okay, you're not going to do that. But when you're switching between, any kind of growl or scream vocal and going back to singing pitches, that's tough, man. I take my hat off to anybody that can do that. I've not done it, and I won't do it because I'll wreck my voice.
Yeah.
I couldn't sing opera.
I mean, well, so the other video I watched, the one in the middle, is called Power Core.
Oh,
and
right.
It's a live video.
That was good.
There's
I liked that.
You liked it, but for me, it was like, yeah, I miss your Gimmick video.
It was the lyrics
right,
that grated you.
Well, again, because again, it feels like it's called Power Core, and the song feels like a mix of like metalcore and power metal almost.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what we were going for.
Yeah.
But then whenever I actually hear the lyrics, and the lyrics are trying to be funny and related, I don't think he can write the lyrics. I think that's the biggest weakness.
I actually didn't mind them at all.
I didn't.
It's our first disagreement. Yeah. No, I didn't mind it at all. I mean, I totally got that he was, and that's the thing, because power metal is like your lifeblood. You know, it's insulting to you that he would make such crappy.
But maybe it used to be, but now it's more like
defend your musical tastes now.
Well, no, because I don't like power metal now. Really,
Yeah.
I like a few examples
there's not a lot of good ones.
old good power. Well, no, what it is that power metal has become incredibly regressive.
Yeah,
there's almost nothing interesting and new, and that started happening for me in like 2004 or something. And so it's been at least a decade since I was like, oh, let me check out this new power metal band.
Who was like the last one then that you would listen to, for example?
Well, honestly, and it's funny because in the last podcast we mentioned this because Rich and Eric really don't like this band Kamelot. It's Kamelot with a K.
I do not like Kamelot.
Really?
No, I don't.
Oh,
I
shit.
don't know if they're not the ones that I said got paired up with Alestorm. They're also on Napalm
They might
Records.
have.
It's someone that, like, when I first started. Remember, I started listening to Alestorm when we worked together.
Yeah, I think they're on Century Media. Actually, or maybe not.
It's definitely Napalm Records. It's not them, but Kamelot. Yeah, I don't like them.
Yeah,
I remember listening to them and going, no.
They were the last power metal band I sort of like actually tried to keep listening to, and it was because I felt like as far as first of all, a lot of power metal has basically become pop metal, but
True.
If you're going to listen to pop metal, which in my opinion is any metal that basically is going for like a pop song structure and just going for like kind of effective, catchy songs or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you're going to do that, I felt like Kamelot was the only one doing it to like a reasonable degree. Like I felt like they had good songwriting as long as you were accepting that it wasn't going to be like a progressive song or anything. If you're fine with just verse, chorus kind of stuff, I felt like they were doing it really well. But the problem is, at a certain point, they started to hit that like, okay, everything we do now is kind of just like we don't have new ideas.
So we're just going to keep recycling the same thing.
So like when they did, for me, it was Karma, Epica, and Fourth Legacy, Karma, Epica, Black Halo. Those are the albums where I was like listening to them for serious.
Epica, that was the 2003 album, and then what was the other one?
Black Halo.
Black Halo,
which is a sequel to Epica.
2005, yeah. So
so it's been a decade since I gave a shit about power metal.
Well, their last album was out in 2012, and don't power.
Well, what happened is so here's the thing that happened with Kamelot, which I mean, this is a weird tangent, but
that was a good tangent.
Their singer, their old singer was really great for a while, and he used to be in another more progressive band called Conception.
Yeah.
His name's Roy Khan. He left, I think, for Jesus, like so many do, but. But I mean, it wasn't necessarily bad for the band anyway, because he was having trouble live with higher notes and stuff. He's one of those dudes who, when he was 20, was just like, wow, all the time, just like crazy high notes. And then like you hit 30 and you're like, man, I can't just do this shit all night on tour all the time.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. So
gotta tune down, man. Gotta tune down.
But they did. They tuned down. They started tuning down. Yeah. Now they got this new guy, Tommy Karavik, who can sing all this stuff, but they're basically making him sing melodies that are exactly like what Roy was singing. And so again, it's kind of been like, when they got the new singer, I'm like, oh, maybe it'll be interesting again. No, it was the same thing, but with a new singer.
They just wanted to keep it the simple way it was.
Yeah. So I mean,
would you say that power metal has a predominance of gimmicky situations?
Well, there's a lot of power metal that tended towards the fantasy or sci-fi thing. But the thing is, I don't think at a certain point that counts as a gimmick, because in metal, historically in metal, there's been a ton of people who just, it seemed to fit with metal and rock in the 70s and 80s that there was a lot of like fantasy and sci-fi and whatever, because they were like, what do we write about with this music? It's well, Black Sabbath wrote about like scary horror stuff. What else can we do that's like that fits better with metal than other styles of music? And it's,
would you say that then gimmicks are a physical manifestation of appearance? Like clothing,
right. If you're doing something,
or well, I suppose you'd have to say mannerisms, because
if you're taking the theme of the music outside of the music to where it's part of the band's identity.
So it's pretty much just fucking cosplay music, is what you're saying.
Kinda, because it's really all about.
So they're like the Goblin.
Well, that's how
I've got to try and remember their name.
Because if it's a musical gimmick, I don't even consider. I mean, what is a musical gimmick? Like,
musical gimmick is an example of Adam D from Killswitch Engage and I think Joey. They would do the Zakk Wylde pool harmonic every so often. This is a better example. It's the Zakk Wylde pool harmonic. So it's.
But then it basically is a musical trope, right? Then it's just a musical trope. It's like it's a little musical thing.
It's not a gimmick,
right? And I mean, if you overdo it, it can become gimmicky. But really, when I say exactly. When I say
he's made
gimmicky,
songs out of those, by the way.
when I say gimmick, it means like, are you dressing up like Ghost BC is the best example of a gimmick band now.
I'll now talk about that.
All right, we'll talk about Ghost.
You describe.
All right, so Ghost. I think they're still going by Ghost BC.
Like
basically, they couldn't.
Whippy turd is what they are. It's like, you ever seen Mr. Whippy ice cream? Where, that's them, but in poo form.
Yeah.
And instead of on a cone, it's just on the floor of New York. That's what they are.
Yeah. So Ghost BC. Oh man, basically they sound their whole, because I've watched a few interviews, because I'm like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? I mean, what do you think you're doing, Ghost? What do you think that you're pulling off? Meanwhile, I'm aware that you're not. So it's their whole gimmick, what they were going for, which again, it's front
honestly,
to back gimmick.
I got excited when you told me about the gimmick.
Yeah.
And then
and then you heard the fucking music.
So basically, within I'd say, I mean, if I was just a ballpark, 20 seconds, I could say less, but I want to be forgiving. I turned to Matt and said, "Turn it off now." You just went, "Oh yeah," and I said, "Yeah," and you put the next one on, and I just said, "Do you have to watch another one?"
Yeah,
I hadn't had such a strong response.
So, and that was kind of my initial response, because I wasn't against the gimmick by itself. Does the music fit the gimmick?
But what is the gimmick?
Okay, so as far as I can explain it, first let me say what they said. Their words was that they wanted it to be like you found some old band from the 70s that you never heard of, right? Like, say you just discovered.
Kind of looked like that in the video. I will give them that.
No, they kind of pull off what they set out to do. I just think that the end result is dumb.
Yeah,
because
if their sound was modern, then that would help. I don't mean change the way that they play music. Just if it was more modern.
Right.
I don't know if that's another thing they set out to do.
That's the thing, right? No, they set out to make it sound old, and that's the thing. So it's intentionally regressive.
It did sound old, and I mean, the term "old" is just that's not a good thing. I mean, I love music from times before the 70s. But it's the thing:
if you're trying too hard to 100% recreate something that's been done before, and you're not trying to add anything new to it, then it's regressive. It's a retro pastiche, and it's. I'd
like to give 200 points to Matt for using that. 200 points for all these terms Matt's popping out.
So basically, since I didn't describe it at all yet, all of the band members, except for the singer, are nameless ghouls. They wear masks and like hooded cloaks, like druids or something. And they're nameless
that's what they
ghouls.
looked like in that one. The band they were wearing kind of like dark priest robes, like they covered their face. They were just shadows. You couldn't see it.
And then the singer is called Papa Emeritus, and he's basically like the satanic pope or some crap. And it's supposed to be all like, dark and spooky. And like the first song I heard from them is called Year Zero, which is kind of, I think, the best example, because if you watch that,
that's the first one. Right?
It's immediate. Yeah, it's the one that they're like like Lucifer, and like
That was the second one we watched.
Right. Sorry. Yeah, it was the second one we watched, but it's the one that most sums it up because it's like, oh, you're trying so hard to be evil and satanic, and then you start
really
playing
weren't.
music, right? And then the actual music is not at all. Again,
was terrible.
right? So my criteria is really how does your music fit the gimmick? Because
Dude, I've sung in choirs, like all boys choirs, when I was a kid, and I was like 12. Our stuff sounded more evil than that.
Yeah.
That was a load of bollocks.
yeah, their shit doesn't sound evil at all, and
No.
it sounds like Blue Oyster Cult,
Yeah.
except that Blue Oyster Cult
That was the
could be
best
spooky
example.
and evil.
No, it was the best
Right.
example. Yeah.
And the biggest thing to me is that the singer, who I'm pretty sure is the guy behind everything,
It was so boring, man.
he's a terrible, boring singer.
It was boring. It was really, really boring. And the one thing is, I appreciate in mixes and recordings when you got one singer and nobody else sings in the band. And I could be wrong about this because the other ghouls. I was trying to envision in that very short amount of time that it took me 20 seconds to decide, Matt, turn it off now. I was like, oh, those are wonderful harmonies. They sound really boring though. Not the harmonies, just it sounded boring. There was no energy to the singing.
Yeah.
And I was like, it doesn't look like anybody else is singing. They don't need to in a music video, but if they're ghouls and they're faceless, they probably don't. And I thought, so is it Papa Wankabus? Papa Wankabus was like, when he was doing 3-part harmonies and triads, I was like, okay, so if I watched you on a video live, which we didn't, a lot of what we watched, we didn't watch the live ones, which also is another factor into it, especially with the gimmick. I was like, is he going to sing one line? Is there going to be a backing track? Are Papa Wankabus's ghouls going to be backing him up in some manner or form to not show their faces? And I thought even in old school recordings, which I honestly thought they just sucked. I didn't know they were going for that. Props to them for getting it. I don't care. But I was like, I don't think I'd enjoy this live. I don't see them recreating the sound. And then, of course, that just teeters off into the whole argument of, well, their live performance sounds awesome. It's, really different, as opposed to I like that. I like to hear a good album, then I like to hear something different live.
Yeah.
But that was terrible, man.
Yeah. The other thing that they did, which continues to piss me off, is that they keep again, they're working the gimmick so hard. They're this thing where supposedly it's the third singer now. It's Papa Emeritus 3.
Like you were saying.
But
That's a fucking Spinal Tap reference. Oh, our drummers keep spontaneously
right.
combusting.
Only it's clearly the same guy.
It's the same.
For one, the actual guy at some point was outed on Metal Sucks or something like that. And the thing is, the first version of Papa Emeritus was like an old man mask. And so I get how he was probably like, all right, apparently we're going to be somewhat successful. I don't want to wear an old man mask all the time. So my guess is that's why they switched to Papa Emeritus 2. But Papa Emeritus 2 is still a mask plus like corpse paint. And I think the latest one, he was just like, I don't want to wear a mask at all because I got to do this shit all the time now. And the newest one is just paint, just face paint.
Is it that skull bone kind of paint?
Yeah.
So he has a black layer and then he has white to accentuate.
It's corpse paint.
Yeah. Is that what corpse paint
Yeah,
is?
it's cool. If it's basically black and white and sort of looks skull-like or whatever, it's corpse paint. Because
I have been educated.
black metal
Thank you, Matt.
bands, mostly black metal bands.
Do you have any makeup? Can we do this now?
No, I
Okay.
don't.
I tried.
Well, that's the other thing. Like, corpse paint is such a long-established thing now. It's like it's not original or interesting to do anymore.
A lot of people in the Nordic bands, when people would shit on them and be like, why they got to wear that paint? It's gimmicky. It actually isn't. There was it was explained. I forget who I was watching. It was a Nordic metal band stereotype, and they were like, "Oh no, this was something that warriors would use to go into battle."
There's some like pagan reference.
Very
right.
It's just a warrior thing.
Yeah,
It's I mean, not even religious.
Right, and that's why I'm not calling the entire genre of black metal gimmick metal, because it's more of a. It's not a gimmick. It's a whole thing. It's central to the. It's related to the music.
Cradle
it's
of
related
filth.
to where the music comes
Gimmick.
from. Yes. Right. But it's like, right. It's how far do you take it? How much is it actually necessary? And how much of it is just like, maybe this will get people's attention and they won't notice that we suck.
Aye.
So Ghost BC, I feel like, it's so much like maybe they won't notice that we suck.
And went to like the shittiest thing on
Right.
there.
Well, it was the best. It's the best example.
of-
Right. Because to me, it's all gimmick.
So I'm gonna try this.
What is he dressed as?
Necro...
What is he dressed as? What's the dude in the video?
The Goblin.
Yeah.
Video. Right. So what's the band called?
Nekrogoblikon.
Nekrogoblikon. Why is that difficult for me to say?
I don't
know. So Nekrogoblikon.
It's Necronomicon with a goblin in it.
Okay. So Nekrogoblikon, I think that they're fantastic. I really enjoyed it. But you know what?
Right.
I might get through more than the 3 songs that we listened to and be like, okay, I'm done.
Well, and I don't disagree, because part of my whole thing is that when they came out with the whole "we need a gimmick" thing, I was like, yeah, yes, you do. Good job. Well recognized.
I'm not principally invested in the fact of giving a crap whether they are or are not.
Well, and they're not a terrible band without a gimmick.
I'm
they're
sure
just not
that if
as
I listened
good
long
as...
enough to any band, I'd be like, okay, there's something I don't like there.
Yeah,
but
but that's the point of this podcast.
Well, I'm trying to find things wrong with everyone.
Right.
It's okay. I'll be the good cop. You're the bad cop, Matt. Why does a good cop talk funny?
So, okay. So let's see what else we can get into.
An example of like the entire thing is a gimmick and every song is a gimmick. Alestorm.
Yeah, and I think an effective example of a gimmick band, because I would
even hate to say gimmick because it just has that negative connotation to
right,
it, you know?
but I would say that they definitely are.
It's a gimmick band,
but again, I think it's the best version of it because they effectively execute their gimmick.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a fun gimmick that's interactive.
It's a fun gimmick.
Who doesn't, like, even as an adult, want to think, oh man, if I was a pirate.
Right.
You know,
it adds to the experience. If you haven't heard of Alestorm, they're basically like
a Scottish pirate
metal band. And
all they do is drink.
And mostly sing about drinking.
And wenches. I was about to say another word, but wenches. Wenches and mead are their like predominant output, source output. Yeah, they're amazing. When I worked with Matt at Samash many eons ago, I don't know how I stumbled upon them, and I was like, oh wow, it's a Scottish pirate metal band. This is insane. I can't believe it. And then every morning we would come to work and I just put Alestorm on for forever. I remember Stephen Bender was like, people probably don't want to hear that. You should turn it off. I'm like, fuck you, man, whatever.
Yeah.
But they do it effectively. Talking about the music's the most important thing, as you said first. They're awesome metal musicians. Incredible. They've had a couple of rotations of drummers and they're now on their second guitarist. The first guitarist, I believe, or the bass player in the first incarnation, he then became the guitarist. So it's definitely, friends that knew each other that were like, oh, I can play bass, sure, I don't care. But they're all dressed up in kilts and as pirates. And the lead singer is a guitar player. This is what just makes it even more funny. I remember I saw it and I was like, oh, this is going to be shit. And it was great.
Yeah. And
I love their shredding call back and forth solos.
Yeah.
Because it's Chris Bowes?
Yeah.
Bowes? I'm saying that right. Phenomenal musician, and he composes it. And he even explains in the beginning, which is great. He said in an interview, he's like, oh, it was just for a laugh.
Yeah.
I just got in, we just did this for, I was playing in some band called Dragon and Mankamana. Not Dragon Force, I'm not about to say that.
Yeah.
And then he got his buddies together and he's like, oh my God, this is great. We're awesome. We're going to do a pirate metal band.
Yeah. But then he did something else that we have to talk about.
You should check out Alestorm. If you have not checked out Alestorm.
Check out Alestorm.
Pirate. Their albums are amazing.
Is a fun gimmick that doesn't, it's okay.
Their last album, cool. They got very deathy.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. He started to do, he did, Death Throes of the Terror Squid. It's like a 7-minute, it definitely gets very like power metal at one point.
Yeah.
They kind of took influences from like black metal for this, and it's like their regular jig along and chugging, and then it gets to this breakdown, and then nothing but on the double bass, and he just and I was like, yay! Finally, this is awesome. Because it's not like he's singing anyway.
Yeah.
But
so there's this new side band, I guess, from the keyboardist slash lead singer of Alestorm, called Gloryhammer, and
Matt's closing his eyes.
All right. So first of all,
yeah, you should play it.
No, we have to play this. The first one they did, the first Gloryhammer album, because the dude's Scottish and he's singing about some character called
Angus McFinch.
Angus McFife.
McFife.
Which
He
is
talked
funny
about
because
being on the ruins of Dundee, and I was
yeah,
like,
it's
oh,
about like
God.
some Scottish dude, but
Who has to slay a sorcerer?
yeah.
Pirates are badass. Don't change the formula.
I do not want to hear your fucking commercial.
It's okay. I'll sing over it.
Wait, no, I refuse to have their commercial on my podcast. I can't fucking mute
They're
it.
not giving you any
Wait,
money.
I can mute. Shut up. I'm gonna edit this out.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna edit
let's
this out.
Dookie, dookie, dookie. I took a big. Oh, here we go.
All right. So, you know, cheesy power metal. Angus McFife is his name.
I mean, I get some kind of musical boner hearing that.
This is. I mean,
I'm just missing the like bagpipes.
Right. Their first album, I don't know. This doesn't completely offend me because it's like. I mean, okay, the keyboardist is wearing like a wizard cloak.
That's Christopher.
And they're all dressed funky, but they're in the woods, so you know.
He probably. Do you think he wants to appear anonymous?
I don't know. I mean, the lead singer is wearing like green plate armor, and that's the
Peter
thing that's
Pan
really
bollocks.
yeah.
Right
I'm
there.
like, I mean, is it green because they're Scottish?
I never
or
want to
like,
grow up.
it's just
Scottish
what the
would be
fuck?
blue. Come
Oh,
on.
yeah? Is that-
Yeah, he's probably like, we couldn't afford the blue paint. We had to get the
Oh,
green
man,
paint.
yeah. What the fuck?
Also, that second song. What was the second song you played?
Right. No, that's what we're gonna get to because their second album is the one that deserves to be burned.
Is
in
it the same
in-
singer though?
I think so.
So because in the intro, this is the thing that gets me. Alestorm are all Scottish.
Yeah.
I don't know about any of the new people in the
This
band.
is no. This one. He's the only Scottish guy I think is the keyboard player.
Yeah, because so the guy
and
is.
somebody's Swiss. They said Scottish Swiss
It's
for
the
some
lead
reason.
singer. Because
Probably.
his accent in the next
Yeah.
one that we'll, if we're going to listen to it. Not that it's a problem that he's Swiss. I was just like, oh.
But yeah, well, why would you do something all about like? This is more Scottish than Alestorm,
Most
technically, in terms of the
Scotland-
theme.
Most of the people that eventually ended up traveling to Scotland, Vikings and such, came from Nordic lands.
Yeah, but-
so I mean, we all share some kind of.
But I feel like the song Angus McFife should have like a Scottish, at least a little hint of a brogue to it.
It would be less power, man. Oh yeah, and it should have a brogue to it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, you know. I thought. Here's another thing, you know, people singing with Scottish accents. So, when it came to a band called Biffy Clyro, who are kind of like Europe's Foo Fighters, even though Foo Fighters are incredibly famous all over the world, you know, he sung with a belligerent Scottish accent for most part. So when people say, "Oh, why don't you sing with the blah blah accent for this?" It's actually, I mean, I would argue, and I don't know, it's because a lot of the ways in which you pronounce things don't lend to you being able to hit certain pitches or make them sound pretty. Like,
Yeah.
if you go higher, you're not going to be like very dark when you go higher.
Yeah, there's
So
like
Scottish accents are very guttural.
Yeah.
and so with Alestorm, you know, even with a Gimmick, for example, because it's what we're talking about, I was like, oh, am I going to like this? And be damned, like every album, of course it had to be blatantly Scottish. They were pirates,
Yeah.
for God's sakes. And he even says, you know, he's like, oh, we're Buddy Smash for most of it anyway. I mean, this is one thing I wanted to do. They did a rum cruise where it was a bunch of metal fans and maybe a couple of other Napalm record bands
Yeah.
on a, like, you couldn't even move packed cruise ship.
Oh yeah, no, that's a
going through
big
the
thing now.
Caribbean. I wanted.
Was it 70,000 tons of metal? Because that's the big. We talked about that on the last episode because Rich is friends with Kim Kelly, she was the new vocalist for Guar for a while. Remember they had a female vocalist for a minute?
Yeah.
She also has I mean, we've plugged it like 3 times on this podcast that nobody's heard, but she has a custom clothing line called I can't remember right now, but
They fired her.
Kill.
Kilcum?
I have to edit that out.
No, don't.
No, she has a custom line of clothing, Killa some rockwear.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got that out.
Yeah.
That's even more tough than Nekrogoblikon.
Yeah.
Did I get that right?
Yep.
Nekrogoblikon? I'm having real trouble saying that.
Yeah, she's Canadian. We talked about in the last thing. She was in some bands, but now she's also involved in promoting 70,000 tons of metal. So
Oh, wow.
at Heavy Montreal,
Is she there?
yeah, she was there with one of the like girls who's going to be on the cruise too, or whatever. And they were like, "Oh yeah, you guys got to come on this cruise," and we're like, "Nah, we're good. We don't really. The lineup didn't really do it for me." And
Two
it's
deceptive
it's like
women
in-
tried to take
it's
two
in-
men onto a cruise.
well, it's in January, and we have like NAM and stuff like that, and so we're like,
that's
we
right.
got stuff going on.
You're going to
but-
miss my birthday again for NAM, you bastard.
Wait, when's your birthday?
23rd of January.
I might be here for the 23rd. I'm not sure. It
Hey,
depends on.
podcast, that's my birthday. It's 23rd
I mean, it's probably
of
the
January.
same weekend as NAM, but it might not be.
I would like, well, it'll fall on a different day this time, so that's a good thing. I like that this is part of the podcast.
I'll be
come on.
Sorry, buddy.
It's a gimmick, man. NAM is a gimmick. That's bollocks.
Yeah,
Anyhow.
but it's hilarious.
So I Gloryhammer, I need to listen to them more before I could truly make some kind of verdict on it. Alestorm is the best.
So here's where Gloryhammer goes wrong and deserves to be punished for it.
This was bollocks.
So
Yeah.
their new album is like, okay, so it's important to know, if you haven't heard it mentioned on the podcast already, that I have a power metal project called Homophony, and I like to think of it as a power metal tribute to power metal.
Homo what?
But some might also consider it a parody.
What's it called?
Homophony.
Okay.
So but the problem is power metal bands keep parodying themselves, and so I feel like it's becoming largely unnecessary.
You mean because they become a gimmick?
Yeah, because
of the theme of it. they
I'm
then
trying to
bring it
make
out
fun
into-
of what a cheesy bunch of bastards power metal is, while
I like
simultaneously
to do
playing.
power chords while the keyboard does triads over me.
But you know, while still paying tribute to, again, the years when I actually was into power metal.
I remember when I liked Good Charlotte for a week.
But well, I wouldn't say there's. Look, technically speaking, Iron Maiden is like the original power metal band.
That's a good point.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't, like, the problem with power metal is not sort of its existence, it's where it's gone to. It's that it's become so it's become sort of insular, and it's kind of taken the cheesiest, worst bits and
Yeah.
just like run with them, right? And also it's the fact that it's 2015 and there's still bands who are just like, let's just sound like Iron Maiden. That's okay, you know.
I never really listened to Iron Maiden. When everyone does a
Iron Maiden is one of those bands that I swear is okay. Iron Maiden, there's a point where you know what you're getting because they have a thing.
Yeah.
But aside from that,
It's the same thing with Alestorm.
right? But aside from that, I think Iron Maiden is one of the few not really overrated metal bands. Which saying that, they're one of the most famous metal bands
I
in
agree
the world.
with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, of course I've heard, like, was it Number of the Beast and Run to the Hill. Run to the Hills must have been the first thing I'd ever
Yeah.
heard. And I've heard all these songs and I've heard them all the way through. I could honestly say I've listened to Run to the Hills the whole way through 3 times in my life. But that's all I need.
Yeah.
You know, like, even before I could play any instruments other than singing, it
Well, and
was
plus-
like whatever.
Plus,
But
they,
but they're good.
Yeah, and they had some stuff where, like, they got borderline progressive, like Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, it's this long song,
Yeah.
with all these weird different dynamic sections. So, you know, they really, and then where it really sort of stuck with the power metal name is the European stuff that kind of came along with it in the 80s, like Halloween and Gamma Ray. And stuff like that. And, you know, and some of that for a while was called like speed metal. The power metal name.
Yeah, they did do speed metal for a bit. I forgot that was even a
The
bloody
labels
genre.
kind of got all weird, but if you're like, technically speaking, power metal is at one point was kind of a broad genre, but now it's the problem is that it's become very narrow, and that's why I gave up on it. I kind of was like, there's nothing new here. Any new power metal band or even old band with a new album, I had heard it, right? That's why I stopped, because I was like, well,
Yeah.
I've heard all this. Because the thing about power metal is it fit the things I liked in metal. When I started off listening to metal, I only listened to melodic stuff, you know, and that's changed, and so has like the landscape as far as more extreme stuff. I got into more of that, but at the time I wanted it to be melodic. I wanted melodic vocals. I wanted a dude who sang really fucking high for no reason. and then guitars that went whittly, whittly, whittly. And that there was plenty of that. There was also that in prog metal, but there isn't
It's a
that much
theoretical explanation.
There just isn't and has never been that much prog metal overall in terms of actual progressive metal.
No.
And then the crappy prog metal is just power metal that thinks it's progressive, but it doesn't understand
agree
that
with
it's
that.
not.
Yeah.
Right. So that's part of the thing. So that's what I mean. And I go to the Prague Power Festival. That's the whole thing. That's where that lives. That's why the Prague Power Festival is a thing, because prog and power metal overlap.
How would you theoretically describe epic parts of music? When something is epic. Oh, this part is epic because that falls into the vein of prog and power.
Definitely, and I like that too.
And
That's
how would
definitely
you
a thing.
theoretically describe it? Theoretically.
Well,
sustain, like holding things out.
Yeah, in terms
over
of
the groove.
Right. Well, it's also in terms of covering a large part of the sonic spectrum. Right. That's a big part of making it sound epic. If you're covering that's why I was talking before we recorded. We were talking about power metal, like metal bands that are kind of power metal but don't have keyboards, and how sometimes it's weird because I'm sure to some people they're like, yeah, we don't need no pussy keyboards in our metal. But on the other hand, if you're already writing about like Dungeons and Dragons stuff, then you're just like leaving empty space.
Yeah.
And that's where the bands like the possibly cheesiest and yet potentially most effectively Dungeons and Dragons metal band is Rhapsody, or Rhapsody of Fire, as they're now called.
Okay. Don't know them.
And they're known for basically adding all this symphonic stuff. And it's all keyboards or MIDI. It's not like, well, I mean, at some point they used actual orchestras.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
For recordings, I would imagine.
The point is they were like, well, it's metal, but we added, a lot of orchestral stuff, but also we're singing about swords and dragons and stuff.
Right.
And my early theory, and I guess this kind of fits, because I guess Rhapsody in a way is kind of, or at least they initially started off kind of like a gimmick metal band.
I can't stop thinking about Rhapsody in Blue right now. I'm sorry.
It's not, that's not what we're talking about.
I know, I just can't
I'll put on a Rhapsody song so so you get the right frame of mind.
I need to.
And then you'll be like, this needs its own episode, and it probably does. But no, the thing with Rhapsody is, so they really nailed that epic thing, but at the same time, they nailed, massive amounts of cheese. And
jeez, we should make a power metal band and call it Gershwin. Hey, it's by Gershwin. Are you talking about the incredibly awesome, like, dun 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 dun.
This is the only Rhapsody song that needs to exist, by the way.
Kind of immediately when the chorus came in, that's all MIDI, right? That's not recording. Well, that's real instruments, no?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if this album is or not. This is like the second album, but at some point they did use real instruments.
Oh, hang on, what's this?
Right, so the singer's kind of operatic.
Definitely now a guy.
The best part of Rhapsody, though, is that they're Italian, and so how he pronounces... This song's called Emerald Sword, but you're about to hear how he says it.
Justice.
All right, just get to the chorus. Nope, I was wrong. That's not where the chorus is.
That's great.
Here it is. The Emerald Sword.
Oh.
Anyway, you get the idea. So the point is, that's like epic, right?
Someone pronounced Edinburgh at 2 a.m. this morning. I should let you know.
Right. So,
digression.
Yeah. So the Emerald Sword. So that's what that's the easiest way to make something sound epic. Is
backtrack.
Orchestral.
Does no director in the whole process of that speaks English go, by the way?
Nope. No, that's the problem. That's the whole. We need to do an episode on European bands and how they need to get like like checkers for like pronunciation and
I
and
don't
even
know, but
word
listen,
usage. There's some hilarious.
There's a lot
There are some hilarious mistranslations though in lyrics.
Oh, I can imagine. There's a lot of they call it like J-pop or K-pop, like Korean, Japanese rock and stuff. They had J-rock. I went to the Taste of Chaos tour in like 2007 or something like that, and I wanted to see a trio, and the headlining was Avenged Sevenfold. So whatever. And then they had Bullet for My Valentine, who opened up before a trio, which was great.
Hey, that's another band I intentionally didn't see at Heavy Montreal.
Yeah, they in the beginning they were amazing, man. They got really.
They were kind of like. They felt like if Children of Bodom had hired like a really bad emo singer.
Yeah, well, in the beginning they were heavy. I loved their initial stuff, but I totally discounted everything that came after it. It's kind of like Avenged Sevenfold, people said. But anyhow, pronunciation. Yeah, the J rock stuff, which they had to stop calling Jap rock. I wonder why. God's sakes, idiots. That's terrible and not funny at all. I remember the guy coming out and he goes, "Hello, Orlando. We are from Japan. Fuck yeah. Are you all ready to rock?" And we were all like, "Yes!"
Oh, dude, there's some.
And so I just like, whenever he would sing, like he sang one, they did like a cover in English or something like that, because all our songs are in Japanese. It was still amazing. It was great metal. I wouldn't ever want him to get an accent coach ever.
What was the band?
MUCC.
Okay, because there's some old recording of. Have you heard of Loudness?
No.
They were like the big, like late '80s Japanese metal band.
Okay.
And there's some live album I think where you can hear them, saying "lock and roll," and like, "Hey, are you ready to lock and roll?" And
stop, drop, and roll.
And the band's name is Loudness, so their whole career they're Loudness, and so that was a good time, but. Anyway, so sometimes I wouldn't change it, Another band, Doping Panda. They're a very successful pop rock band, a Japanese one. I love them since I was younger, and same thing. I wouldn't have them change it, When he says "please to cry," I'm like, no. It's not even because it's funny. I like hearing it. It's a different way of hearing it. Yeah. Well, okay, so like Gloryhammer, yes. Okay, so here's the thing.
This piece of shit.
So Gloryhammer's second album took the whole thing to another level. Where again, I was like, "Hey guys, kind of trying to do this power metal parody thing here. You guys are kind of ruining it by being a power metal band who is fucking ridiculous." And I'm trying to find the specific. I refuse to like say it wrong because if I just read off, okay, here it is. So their new album is called Gloryhammer, Space 1992, Rise of the Chaos Wizards. It's I guess sci-fi related, even though it sounds exactly the same. And the tracks are, let's see, the track listing is like. Yeah, well, you have your stupid intro Latin track, and then you have Rise of the Chaos Wizards, Legend of the Astral Hammer, Goblin King of the Darkstorm Galaxy. So basically, it's just super obvious that you're like, you get it, it's a dumb gimmick. Duh. But the thing is, like, that's the problem, right? Like,
I'm
you're
only
not
basing disliking that of that one song I heard the guy came in.
My okay, so I'm gonna put this on. Is
this the same one as before?
I'm actually not sure. No, I don't want the Unicorn Invasion of Dundee.
What the? No!
Right, that's probably from the first album.
We can't let my fiance hear that. She'll be so excited. She'll be like, "Is this metal? I like it. Unicorns? Scotland? I want to hear it." The Unicorn Invasion of Dundee. Oh, God.
All right, here we go. This is Universe on Fire is their new... I have the same problem with this that I have with Nekrogoblikon, which is when I hear the lyrics that are supposed to be intentionally cheesy and haha, like we're not serious, they're not funny, right? I'm not like, it's funny. I'm like, I just cringe.
You're gonna hear some of these.
Yeah, you're about to hear some. Or
I want to
an
set the universe
instrumental
on fire. You're my guiding light. Who's the guiding light?
I don't fucking know.
I just can't wait to hear this fire and lungs of steel part.
So my main things are, does the music fit the gimmick, and are you committed to the gimmick, or are you sort of just like, I don't know, well, what should I make this dumb power metal album about? I don't know, fucking Space 1992. What?
Klaus. 1,000 years ago, he said. Bring the Klaus, okay?
So we still got dragons. Atomic flame ignite my heart. That sounds like a Japanese person wrote it.
It does!
Atomic flame ignite my heart! There's no end in sight. So this is the shit we have to deal with now.
It kind of sounds like they've just copied and pasted a bunch of lines from different...
Yeah, no, that's exactly. And it's pretty much standard power metal. I mean, it doesn't seem much different from Angus McFife either, you know? I feel like between...
the whole melody line actually reminds me of that.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna go from, you know, Scottish pseudo-fantasy to some kind of weird space
Oh, it was in
retro.
1992, though. Don't forget that.
Right. So it's intentionally cheesy, stupid space stuff.
But in 92.
But it sounds exactly the same. So in my opinion, you have failed. You should have your gimmick immediately revoked. And you should be forced to write music without a dumb gimmick.
Or just play an Alestorm.
right. Because that's my thing. Well, like it's like all these like Gloryhammer in particular. If you don't look at the art or the video or anything, it's just fucking power metal. What the why? What is?
If you don't get your kicks with all of the awesome albums about wenches and mead at like writing pirate metal, it's Scottish pirate metal, then how can you be satiated?
Yeah, I
Your
don't.
appetite for dumb arsery continues. Please, Chris, don't do any more of that. Stay with Alestorm. One of my favorite. Tesseract. They're a gent band, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got their name from the Tesseract from the Marvel thingy. All right.
Maybe. Or maybe they'll
They
like.
did.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I looked that up.
Great.
Oh, yeah, I was investigating gent, you know, because
Yeah,
I needed to
yeah.
brush up on my degent.
Well, it would have been a cooler name if they didn't get it from the Avengers, because it's not like that's the first time that was a word.
I'm about to be a nerd and say that it wasn't really originally from the Avengers movie and they got it from the...
They might have. Well, technically, there's a Tesseract on the cover of one of their albums, so I guess they know what it is.
Yeah.
But they probably saw that movie. Nerds. Well, I could go into a whole thing about Tesseract because I saw them a few years ago, but I'm not gonna because it's kind of off topic for this.
Yeah.
But yeah. So okay. So that's
who do we like? Who do we not like? So we're
well. Okay.
Alestorm is the best.
Despite my bitching, Nekrogoblikon is really not like I'm like
I like them.
keep doing what you're doing because honestly their videos are great. So I feel like they work really well as like a multimedia, you know, thing. Like maybe just like I'm not gonna listen to your albums probably, but I will watch your videos if you keep making them.
I'll listen to your albums. I like.
And
your
Jamie
music.
will listen to your albums. And the music's
I
not
only
bad.
heard free, but I mean, hopefully, if they keep
right.
going that
the
way.
music's not bad. I'm just kind of.
There's
being
one more
nitpicky.
thing we didn't shit on. Unleash the farce.
Oh right. Well, yeah. Okay. So, all right. There's a couple gimmick bands that I want to kind of like compare and contrast here because I feel like they're kind of doing the same thing, but in very vastly different ways. So there's a Madison, Wisconsin-based band who I know because I used to live there called Lords of the Trident, and there's a Canadian metal band called Unleash the Archers.
Boo.
They're well, don't spoil which one we like. But Lords of the let me just kind of describe them as much as possible first. Lords of the Trident is
cool.
Unquestionably a gimmick band because they have like names, they have character names. The lead singer Ty, who I think is like kind of behind the whole idea, goes by Fang von Rathenstein, and like each character, and they're the Lords of the Trident, and so like each character has this like epic name and like backstory and shit. Yeah, and but the coolest thing, but they kind of play like. It's sort of power metal, but it's weird. It's more weirdly like 80s.
Yeah, there was a lot of modern twists in that one song that I'd heard too.
Yeah,
it's very definitely the good breakdown parts as well.
But it's very much in the sort of Dio, Iron Maiden, Priest kind of area.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if that's what they're into, that's cool. The only thing that, like, for my personal taste, yeah, I wouldn't mind a little more like modern touches, but whatever. If that's what they want to do, that's cool. The thing I'm kind of excited about is this dude, Brian Koenig, who used to be in this band, Luna Mortis. They were briefly on Century Media. They used to be the Ottoman Empire. My old band, Mirror Black, used to play with them in Madison. He's the new lead guitar player because their lead guitar player, or one of them, like went off to study yoga in India or something like that. He went off to do a thing.
Metal makes you do that sometimes. Apparently.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta go study yoga in India or whatever, and that's cool. But Brian is the new guitar player, and I need to like I forget his exact character thing. He's like, I think he's Baron something, and he has like a the frilly like Ingve shirt, which is awesome. But he's a really good guitar player. Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting because he's gonna shred it up in that band, I think. And but they wear like they wear costumes. They wear costumes. Like Ty has like he's got like armor and stuff. I think the bass player maybe has like a cloak which almost looks like he's in Ghost, except that they actually predate Ghost as far as I know. And
the bass player's in Ghost?
No, he's not in Ghost. He just has a cloak that's similar.
Oh God.
I'm just saying he has similar, but before Ghost
about to,
did,
not like.
And he has a name. He's not a fucking name. That's the other thing. I'm kind of feel like Ghost. I'm like, I get it. It's part of the gimmick that they're all nameless schools, but I kind of feel like they're all more talented than you.
I don't care about the nameless schools. Just the whole concept of that band, and they just
right. No, but that's my thing. I'm like, it's clearly the singer's idea, and it's like, dude, all these people in the band are more talented than you. Maybe you should give them names and characters instead of making it all about you and constantly claiming that you're a different person every 6 months. So I just went from Lords of the Trident, just slid right back onto fucking bashing Ghost because it's so.
Hey, Ghost, eat a bag of dicks.
It's so important to my life goals. Yeah. But anyway, so Lords of the Trident. So Ty, again, because of the nature of the podcast, I have to be a nitpicky asshole. He's gotten consistently better as a singer as they've gone, and actually their production has gotten much better. Their latest sounds pretty good, which I will play in a second. But it's cool for them to be all sword and sorcery stuff though, because it fits the whole like gimmick of the band or whatever, and it's kind of the kind of metal they're playing. It's one of those things again where I'm like, I wish you would like use a little bit of keys on your albums or something like for atmosphere. You don't have to use it live even, like, but like.
Well, what if they put backing tracks?
Well, yeah, and they could do that too. But I'm saying like
what they did.
Right, yeah, but I have a weird thing about
no keys.
It's like, especially if you've got a specific kind of like stylistic thing, like you're going again, like matching your gimmick, right? Your style's matching your gimmick. You know what really adds to like the atmosphere and the feeling and like the.
Is more
harmonies. Right, is some kind of sound other than just guitars, right?
But they did have more of a modern twist on it, though, to the gimmick. And well, their gimmick obviously following down that whole power metal kind of stuff. There was definitely a lot of metalcore influences in that one song that you played me. I really liked it. It wasn't just straight up power metal like when we fly through the sky.
Yeah, and again, this is their latest, which is part of why. Like again,
that
I think
song was.
Yeah, or at least from their latest album, and that's why again I was saying like they really.
He also picks up a wench from the crowd.
Yeah, actually, I'm not going to even play that one. I'm going to play a more recent one than that. But
I'm ready for that.
But their stuff like has gotten progressively better sounding. This is from their latest album called Frostburn, and the song is called Knights of Dragon's Deep. So again, they're not hiding from the fact that they're like Dungeons and Dragons metal. But and again, to me, this sounds okay. So what we're gonna get into is kind of contrasting these guys with Unleash the Archers.
No, we don't need to do that.
We'll get to it, but.
Voice reminds me of Maynard Keaton from Tool.
The main thing is I think he needs to like compress his vocals a little more. Actually, maybe I just need to turn it up. Let me just turn it up a little because I think that's part of what I'm...
Turn it down for what?
But it was the main thing is he's just got like, because the other song I played you was all like started off with wow, like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And that was the one thing where I was like,
Overload.
well, no, he it's a little. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, this is epic. They're addressing some
Right.
serious
This
issues
is-
like rape in there.
This. I'm pretty sure that's not what they're singing about.
He
But
just said it though.
what?
Monster, yeah, the lands that rape our homes.
Oh, yeah, but like metaphorically. Well, not metaphorically, but you know, like fantasy rape.
When
So
you
it's
have to
okay.
explain the joke, it's not
As long
funny.
as when you're pillaging and raping, it's okay because it's a historical reference.
Okay, all right.
Unless there are dragons, and then it's
Like
not.
the English and what they did to Scotland.
Right. Exactly.
So it's okay, man.
Well, no, but that's what Dungeons and Dragons is glorifying, right?
Here
They're
on your
like,
music is bad. We get into
hey,
fights.
remember feudal societies? And let's pretend there was also magic and dragons, and then it'll be fun to like. No, that's why I kind of
It
have
makes
this weird.
it a whole lot more appealing.
Right. Well, no, that's the weird. That's like the. Like, I'm weirdly fascinated with how fascinated we are with this whole like, the whole fantasy genre is basically sort of taking medieval history and then pretending it's really cool and awesome.
The fantasy genre of music, or just
No,
fantasy genre
in general, like Game of Thrones,
games, video
Lord
games.
of the Rings. Well, I mean, basically, I'll start with Lord of the Rings, right? Lord of the Rings, I'm pretty sure is the first like modern fantasy where it's not pretending, it's not part of a folk mythology tradition.
Well, I mean, I suppose that
It's I am making up a new fantasy thing. It's still based on mythology, but it's basically new
Right.
mythology without any allusion
it's
to
based-
being connected to.
yeah, because I mean,
Believing
then
in-
you could say something like Cinderella is, along the same lines.
Well, I mean, it is in terms of being original mythology, but the point is, the point is that Lord of the Rings. No, the Lord of the Rings takes old myth
Yeah.
and puts it into this. Dungeons and Dragons is based on Lord of the Rings. Okay, if you look at the original Dungeons and Dragons stuff, it's clearly like we changed a few names to avoid getting sued, but that's what it's based on. So modern fantasy. This is a weird tangent, but modern
Just
fantasy
try
is
not to laugh
almost all derived directly from Tolkien. Tolkien is like and then everything kind of comes off of that. And then you can go back further and draw on older mythology, but he set the model for like, I took all this old mythology and I took the religion I believe in and I made up a world, I made up a history for like the prehistoric world.
Chocolate rain,
So-
power metal saves the day. Again, chocolate rain. Sorry.
Somehow somehow related to that, this is the one you saw
Yeah.
where
You see, sometimes having that kind of jokey aspect of something like that is fine. You know who does an incredible cover of Dio's Holy Divers, Kill Switch Engage?
Oh, yeah.
And
Well, yeah,
the,
and that's the
the
thing,
video, the music video to that,
yeah.
they make a total rip, like low, well, it's not low budget, but you can tell certain aspects of it. Like
Yeah.
the guitarist is the sleeping princess. And, and they twist on the original Holy Diver video.
Yeah. Well,
but
like-
at the end of it, he goes, Gotta get away, holy diver, gotta get away. And he goes, holy diver. Of course, because they're, it's metalcore. But, holy diver. And he just jokes about it,
Yeah.
And I suppose because it's like we're a metalcore band covering Dio, it's kind of a joke anyway. So if he doesn't do that repeatedly, I won't get pissed off.
But that's a regular part of his singing is the thing. And it fits the style of music. The problem is more that his head voice is a little light and falsetto-y, and it needs to be more. It's not Halford. It's more.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter that.
I mean, it's okay. So it's.
If he's gonna, you can tell that there's a whole kind of joke connotation into the way he's doing it. So
it's not. That's the thing.
Oh, I don't know.
He's not doing it as a joke. He's just singing high, and that's
just the way I know he's singing high, but in the way in which he portrays is, the whole energy of, I could go or I could go
Well, no, but that's the point. It's not a choice. That's just the way he sings in his head voice.
I'll give him vocal lessons.
That was my point, though, is that he needs to beef it up or add some edge to it or something.
Right.
And it works just as a momentary thing. Because this is a recurring thing I've seen in metal vocalists, because that's, especially in power metal, that's always the thing, is sing really high and start off your song with wah, and but there's a problem of using more of a head voice versus just a falsetto, right? So instead of just kind of singing like a light wah, it's more like wah, like more meat to it, and even a little bit of edge to get the whole full like Halford effect. But
Halford effect?
Yeah. Rob Halford.
Oh,
he kind of invented that shit. Yeah.
Inception.
What? No. What?
This episode was brought to you by Ron Burgundy.
Jesus.
Oh god.
But anyway, so the band we're going to contrast them with is Unleash the Archers, who have just been announced as as a backup on Prog Power because 4 bands canceled, not because of the festival, but because of visa issues and whatever. But this band, Unleash the Archers, is
shit. No, they're good, really good musicians. It's just that,
disagree.
Oh yeah, they're good musicians.
They're okay.
Just because the product of what you have to hear repeatedly.
No, my point is they're not.
You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. First of all, let's start at the beginning. The first problem with Unleash the Archers is you have the worst band name on the planet.
Okay, so
First of all,
we make jokes. Okay.
First of all, Archers
You look so mad.
are not like a formidable, frightening thing that you unleash. First of all, you don't unleash
volleys.
them. They basically just stand there and shoot at people from far away.
Yeah.
So they could unleash their arrows.
Yeah.
Potentially. Although the more correct term is probably loose their arrows.
Dude, that's not what they say in Canada, okay? They say unleash the archers.
I don't think they do. I don't think that's a Canadian thing.
What would we say? Release the archers? No, because then we'd be releasing them from
exactly.
shackles,
It's not remotely close to making sense. It's not remotely in the ballpark.
Well, neither does the fact that when I say, hey, you heard that band, The Killers, and then someone that doesn't know them goes, oh God, are they that metal band? You're like, no. They are not.
No. They just chose their name poorly.
I don't know.
Well, maybe.
It's like, hey, how you doing, Killer?
It's also an Iron Maiden album, so it sounds. Yeah, if you just heard
The Killers?
Yeah.
Oh, I
it's
thought
the
you were
second
going
Iron
to say
Maiden
Unleash
album.
the Archers.
Killers is the second Iron Maiden album. So which makes sense because they're a fucking metal band. But the Killers have not musically killed anybody. So Unleash the Archers,
14-year-old girls, maybe.
So here's the thing. My thought is Unleash the Archers probably doesn't think they're a gimmick metal band, but they are, and I will tell you why they are.
Okay, go.
1, you're called Unleash the Archers. 2, the first video of yours I saw, there's a dude dressed as a knight sword fighting another dude, and then
that's just the premise of a music video. Is this the long drawn out one where?
But the song is also called General of the Dark Army, and then.
But then his fake girlfriend gets mad and things like. Yeah, you should definitely check this video out.
So the 2 videos that we're gonna reference from Unleash the Archers are
Mr.
General,
Whippy Poo.
General of the Dark Army, and Tonight We Ride. One of them is 3 years old. One of them is 2 months old.
Why did they have to steal Tonight We Ride? That's such a good thing.
They sound almost exactly the same, and that's part of my other problem, is that in 3 years, you sound exactly the same as the album you put out 3 years ago.
This is why sometimes when people are like, I'm going to write lyrics and then we'll write a song from it, doesn't always work.
Yeah, definitely. So this is the... Wait, no, let me adjust the volume because I cranked it before. And I want to be able to talk over this. All right. So, skip Google Ads. I hate you.
But we love you, Google. Give us your money. I mean, did it take you that long to edit out the other little bit?
Yeah. All right, so there, the other weird thing about this video is it's like a 8-minute song, and like,
oh god,
I don't want to
but by the 6 minute, you know what? It's not terrible, but
I really have to okay. Whenever I make fun of a video, like it should be considered separate and unrelated to making fun of the band, because almost all music videos are terrible.
Yeah,
and this one is like but this one does confirm that they're a gimmick band. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm skipping the dude playing a guitar solo in the forest alone.
Wait, there are acts, so at least, right?
So like so many music videos. Again, okay. So if you want to watch this, it's Unleash the Archers, General of the Dark Army, and then the other one is Tonight We Ride, but it doesn't matter. It's the same song. But in General of the Dark Army, they're in the forest.
Yeah.
But unlike the Beyond Creation video we watched, they did bring their amps to the forest. They didn't bring a microphone, so the singer does not have a microphone.
Hey,
but
I
they
still
are
haven't
playing
watched that
into.
video yet.
Oh yeah, I'll show you that too. It's
Matt, why do you always leave me out?
No, it's great. It's they're a tech death band. They're fucking
Tech death.
Yeah.
What was that whole thing we had about sub genres that were not like?
No, but tech death makes sense because it's technical. It's death metal, but it's technical.
Oh, it's not techno. It's technical.
Yeah, like technical death.
Okay, so it's
band.
Gen core.
No, because Gent thinks it's technical. It's not.
It's just the breakdown that is
most
very,
of
very
Gent is just
staccato.
right. Yeah, it's just we think we're really.
I've not heard even
arrhythmic.
really smart people use the term staccato on YouTube. Like really good musicians,
Mm.
they're like, yeah, there's this something groove, and you're like, yeah, can you say staccato, please?
You know, they don't know words for things.
No, it's like there's a lot of palm muting. Yep, and say staccato. Say it. Stay. Yeah.
All right, so this is what Unleash the Archer sounds like. So, I mean, you know, there's a little bit of modern growlies because everybody has to have
And the breakdown.
growlies now, yeah. So they're a little more modern. They have a few more modern touches,
To
which
let
I
everyone
like.
know, I looked up my my very regular YouTube search of 12 minutes of fart noises and decided to play it over.
Yeah, no one can hear that. Thankfully. So but again, there's a whole like section of woes, which is a thing that bothers me because it's usually like, well, I don't know what words to write here. I'll just say whoa a bunch. And it's an overdone thing in both power metal, but especially in popular music. It's a big thing in pop right now. There's way too many songs where they very quickly, the entire chorus will just be, you know, nonsense syllables. And it's gotten way out of hand.
Yeah, I some of the stuff that I've done musically with just one specific example. I remember one song had a lot of whoa was in it, but you know, you kind of have that guilt. But it was just because the other musician that I was singing with was such a good singer that it was so much fun to create harmonies. It wasn't overdone. We didn't do it in any other songs.
And and that's fine. It's not a thing that you can't do. It's just a thing that is currently overdone, and a lot of people have it in every song. That's the thing. It's in so many songs now. It's being so overdone, and most of the time, it doesn't make sense. Most of the time is the problem, right? It's fine when it makes sense to just be like, oh, and whatever. But there's so like that. There's no reason. It was just like randomly like, oh woes. It's time for some oh woes, and I'm sure there are more than this song. Although this song, their more recent song, which again, I want you to keep in mind, that last song is 3 years old. This new song is about, well, I wish it was 3 months because that would be a better symmetry, but it's a few months old. It's from May. So it's more recent, and it starts with an explosion because they're on Napalm Records and whatever. And then this one, they're in the desert. It's like a Mad Max theme, but you're still wearing armor, so it still counts as Gimmick to me. They're not bad musicians. Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh, I wasn't expecting... Sorry, different cliche than I was expecting. Here comes the one I was expecting. Your lyrics are super generic.
Those ones I was really excited to hear and rip on.
Yeah.
I'll find my destination. Don't tell me where to go.
Something about destiny.
So apparently it's a person who's like, I'm really lost, but I don't need your help right now.
Okay, so I know you're a power metal band because this sounds exactly like the thing you put out 3 years ago.
The total like, at the beginning, definitely.
Right. On my parody power metal band, there's supposed to be a song called Wah, where the only word in the song, the only vocals in the song is that, because there's so many power metal bands, like so many power metal songs that they just start off and they're like,
whoa. Yeah.
Wah! Just like, let me just start the song with Wah! Like for no reason. And like every other song, it's cool. No one will get sick of that shit.
Here's my vocal prowess, basically showing musical testicles.
Right, so I'm going to write a song where it just starts like that, and then you think it's going to like turn into a real song, and there's going to be a verse, and then it just kind of loops back, and it just repeats the wah part for like 3 minutes.
Like I said before, are we really even comparing them to Lords of the Trident?
Well, no, but if you look at, they're doing something very similar.
Oh, okay, with
they're
the
both
Gimme and the
keyboardless power metal bands who
are dressing up live.
I don't know if Unleash the Archers are dressing up live. They dress up in their videos.
That's what we're kind of focusing is the gimmick.
Right, but that's part of the thing. Is Unleash the Archers is like, I don't think they think they're a gimmick, but they are, because all their songs are about fucking D&D shit. Like, you're a D&D metal band.
No. See, if that Max, Mad Max kind of thing,
yeah, but that's just a one-off video gimmick.
Right, and if they weren't doing that, you wouldn't even friggin' be able to figure out from the initial set of lyrics, I'll find my destination.
Right. The gimmick doesn't fit the music.
Not at all.
Which is one of my big problems.
Which is, it's really cool when it's done in a figurative sense and abstract, like lyrics, where someone will do a music video that has absolutely nothing to do with the lyrics. You know what I mean? And you'll be like, oh wow, and then you have to kind of put this like double meaning to it. Yeah. Sometimes it applies, sometimes it doesn't. This one just blatantly makes no relation. There's not even like some
the only way
opposite, like
the only way it
positive
fits
correlation.
is because they're wearing armor, and
Right.
you know they're a cheesy.
Also, Mad Max
metal
just came out recently, so
Yeah.
hey guys, I have this great Canadian
Well, and
original idea.
it's a decently made video. It's better than the first one. But
the whole budget, production value of it looks really good, but you just laugh when you hear it.
Right.
I mean, yeah,
which is an
in
issue
the
for
beginning.
me.
And then, yeah, right. I love Tenacious D. First CD I ever bought when I was a kid.
Right, but that was on purpose.
Right, but it's a very good point. Touche.
See, Gloryhammer seems like they're trying to be funny, but they're not. Unleash the Archers is clearly not trying to be funny, but they're hilarious.
No, I wouldn't even find that. Well,
Well,
I found it,
unintentionally hilarious. Yeah.
And then I'm like, when
It's
I got the
hilarious.
Mad Max theme, I was like, oh,
It's hilarious because they're a parody of themselves.
yeah.
Is that every power metal band that has like started in the last 5 years is like a cliche in some way.
Yeah. So I suppose the gimmick conclusion again is that is mostly, for the most part, because clearly not in this one, it's a physical manifestation of clothing, or what did you say? You said taking a theme out of the song and the music that you write, and then bringing it to the stage.
Yeah. And my thing was, I
To
think
further yourself, right?
Right.
There's going to be a means to the end.
yeah. Well, and the reason I think that Lords of the Trident is doing, I mean, these guys, Unleash the Archers, they're on a label. They have like the production is a little better, but I don't actually like. The thing is, I don't like their production. I think it's too modern. It's like if you're gonna do power metal, like it's super flat and everything's very dry and upfront, and that's the style in a lot of power metal now, because they're trying to say like, oh well, if we don't have keyboards and if we don't have reverb, it won't be as cheesy and it won't sound like it's from the 80s. And it's like, yeah, but the music's exactly the same.
Yeah.
So what you trying to prove? Trying to prove you're not a gimmick band?
It makes you better.
But you are.
Just makes
So
you
my thing is embrace the gimmick, commit 100%. If you're going to go gimmick, 100%, follow through, let people know you're doing it on purpose,
yeah.
and that you don't just happen to be a bunch of nerds who play D&D and we're like, let's start a metal band.
I like being that kind of nerd.
Well, you can
I've
be,
never played D&D before.
but write better metal than these guys. It's just like,
Yeah. All right.
right. So we cover, let's see, we got
That's it. That's good.
Okilly Dokilly is a huge piece of garbage.
Oh yeah. So are we gonna do that score?
Score? Oh, I don't know how we're gonna score things. Nekrogoblikon. Okay, so let's go this way. Let's just go through and say like
Gloryhammer. Yay or nay?
right. So
or yay for gimmick band. So there should be two yay or nays, I suppose. Is it a gimmick band and does it work?
right. Well, I think all of the ones named are gimmick bands, but otherwise I wouldn't have in kind of including well, yeah, Rhapsody started off as a gimmick, but it's more, no, I shouldn't say that Rhapsody is a true gimmick band, because it's more about what's in the music, right? There's no, I mean, they kind of wear like pirate shirts and stuff, but that's more just like a European metal thing, and they're Italian, so it's like they might just hang out and wear pirate shirts all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know what these Italian dudes are doing. Or because, they think they're, the guitar player thinks he's Paganini, just like Yngwie.
Oh god.
But it becomes a gimmick because then all the songs are about swords and sorcery and dragons and stuff. And well, my theory, because my thing with Rhapsody was that all their albums, they're not only about sword and sorcery, they're all part of the same story. They're all connected, and I love
like a Rhapsody universe.
Yeah, I love concept albums and albums with an actual story, and so I'm up until a certain point, if you had like or at least you claim to have a coherent story and a concept album, I would listen to it because I liked that, and for a long time, it seemed like nobody did that who couldn't pull it off. That stopped in the 90s because all of a sudden a bunch of people did it who couldn't pull it off. And one of the things with Rhapsody was when I listened to the lyrics and they have like a story and everything, when I read it, I was like, but it's not good. It's not a good story. It's not a compelling story. I don't care. I don't care about any of your characters. And the closest thing I could come up with is it sounds like Rhapsody played D&D together. And then they were like, let's take our D&D game and make it the story for all our albums forever. And that's my impression of like the Rhapsody story. Yeah, so they're kind of a gimmick thing, but like in the end, it's one of those things where like enough people copy them that it becomes a thing. Like, I mean, they made up their own like fake subgenre. They call themselves symphonic Hollywood metal because, Hollywood, like a soundtrack, right? Which is dumb, but in terms of symphonic, they kind of were accurate. And it's more accurate to call them symphonic metal than what has become symphonic metal, which is metal bands with a female singer and like a bunch of stringy keyboards in the background for some reason.
Yeah.
And, but okay, so
the father of all gimmick bands is Gwar.
Well, gimmick metal bands at least.
Gimmick metal bands. Is a big
because if you go back further, there's gimmick rock bands and there's Kiss and everything.
So Gwar was one, or is the father of that, and then as far as power metal goes, you would say Iron Maiden. Yeah. So we'll go through these and give kind of a summary. I need to come up with some kind of I should come up with some kind of a rating system or some kind of like a final thumbs up, thumbs down gimmick band,
or like you suck and or like you're bad and you should feel bad, or you're bad but you don't have to feel bad, or you're not bad but you should still feel bad.
Oh wow, that could just be your running thing at the end.
Yeah,
I mean, Kanye. That's your music is bad and you should feel bad.
Right, it should relate in somehow to the theme of the show. But so basically, Okilly Dokilly is bad. Well, the title of this episode is going to be "Your Gimmick is Bad and You Still Sound Bad." So, Okilly Dokilly, your gimmick is bad and you definitely still sound really bad. Nekrogoblikon, I even though I can nitpick, I approve overall, and like you should keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, your music is good, or your gimmick is good, and you should feel good.
And then Lords of the Trident.
I'd agree. I would agree.
Yeah, no, I'm all for them. And I mean, I initially wasn't crazy about their gimmick because initially I was just like, whoa, that's a lot of gimmick, guys. Because every person had a character name. They have incredibly long, detailed fictional biographies on the website about them.
Wow.
Which I wasn't super into, but they're doing well, and they're not doing as well as Unleash the Archers, which is my main thing. I was like, I feel like these guys I'd rather see than Unleash the Archers.
Yeah, I would.
But Unleash the Archers, you probably don't know you're a gimmick, but you are, and the gimmick is bad. But you don't have to really feel bad, I guess.
Because you're doing well.
They're an all right band. They're all right, but it's the same kind of power metal that made me stop listening to power metal, because I was like, there's nothing new. There's nothing exciting and new and interesting here. And again, it's 2015. It's like, it's very, kind of Iron Maiden-y, and it's like, you could do something interesting. Although they did have some modern elements, and they got like a screamy guy and whatever.
Gloryhammer.
Gloryhammer, I can't stand. And they're you're stealing my ridiculous parody, but without it actually being a ridiculous parody. Like, the lyrics are just bad. They're not, like, maybe they're intentionally bad, but it still doesn't change the fact that they're just bad. And when I actually hear them, I don't laugh. I cringe.
Let this atomic fire set my heart ablaze. The flames grow in the lungs of steel. What?
But Alestorm's fine. Alestorm can party all day and all night. But Gloryhammer should stop being a thing. And yeah.
Ghost.
Oh, and
BC.
Ghost. Well, Ghost is going to get their own episode at some point, because they're one of those bands where I'm going to... I mean, I've heard enough to really just... I really don't like
what? They remind me of Sleep.
Like the thing you do when you're not awake? Or like, is there a band that I don't know about?
The band that did the song that lasted 45 minutes.
Oh, geez.
It's doom metal to doom. The band that did Snakes for the Divine. Something about marijuana in their name. It kind of, the connotation of, I forget. They're like a doom metal band.
Okay.
But the guitarist had another band called Sleep before that. and someone was like, "Yeah, if you really like Doom, man, you should check this out." And I'm like, "It's a 45-minute song. It's bad." I mean, I call that a gimmick.
Yeah.
But sorry, Ghost BC.
Yeah, Ghost BC is the worst.
Your music is bad, and you should feel bad, as well as your gimmick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Your gimmick is really bad.
God.
Yep. So all right. So this won't be the only episode about gimmick metal because it's really it's kind of a thing right now. Like I feel like that was the thing that really shocked me is I started to see bands come out with gimmicks and like they really. It used to be like gimmick bands were like they needed you to know that they weren't fucking around.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of just like, yeah, we get that this is ridiculous.
I have an idea. What if we're a band that's metal but we rap? Would that be a good gimmick?
So like Brutal Chains.
Wait, we're gonna
Wait a
rap?
minute. Well, we're gonna play rap.
Yeah. No, never mind.
Oh, you meant like a rap metal band, like all those rap metal bands.
Oh, we love you, Predators, so much.